Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 20th, 2013 Catch the Turn webinar. Tonight we will be going over the Alpha Automated Trading System. Those of you that weren't here yesterday, I'll recap some of the things that we covered in this introduction. And those of you that were here yesterday, some of this might be a little repetitive at first. But I'm just going to go over briefly, introduce the platform again because we have a lot of new faces today. And then Vladimir will come on and conclude the presentation, probably go over a couple charts with you, and just talk to you guys for a few minutes before we wrap it up. So thanks again for spending your evenings here with us. For those of you here on the West Coast, I'm going to start by introducing or showing you guys. You should be able, if everybody can hear me and can see the chart, the 30-minute chart up here, please just go ahead and type a 1 or a yes in the chat box. All right, thank you guys. Hey Patrick, how you doing? All right, so let's go into this. And there was a lot of people that were not here yesterday that I see in here tonight. So I'm going to kind of start from the beginning. And what happened yesterday was we introduced a brand new product for Catch the Turn. And what it is a fully automated version of the platform that you see in the background here. And that's the simplest way to put it, but it has a lot of really neat features for people who are looking to get into systems trading. For those of you that it takes a lot of the emotion out of the entries. We have built in the signals into a fully automated strategy that will take long or short entries on any pair, on any market for that matter. And as long as you can load it on NinjaTrader and it's a liquid market, you can trade it. So we're going to be showing it on Forex pairs tonight, but those of you that might trade equities or options on equities, we have some clients that are having a lot of success using this with options trading because they're waiting for the Cobra signals to confirm, and then they'll go and purchase calls or puts on a stock or something specific like that. So that's just one example of another market that you can use it on. Okay, but I'll go in briefly into how it works and what it does and what we're offering here, and it is pretty exciting. It's been a work in progress for several months. Vladimir's been working hard and investing a lot of resources into getting this this strategy complete. And tied in with NinjaTrader, it is really a full-featured program. I'm going to give me 1 second here. I'm going to load up a DOM so I can show you guys briefly how it works. And I appreciate your patience for those of you that already sat through this yesterday. I feel the need that I should probably go over it again as an introduction, just because it was just announced yesterday, and we have a lot of new faces tonight. So I'll try to be brief, but yet give everybody the same information. So here we go. So here you have a couple charts. Here's a Euro USD chart, a 30-minute, and there's one other feature that you can't see on this, but these backgrounds change color. And what that is the alpha trading strategy actually analyzes a higher time frame before it confirms a signal. So you've heard of people saying, hey, look at your larger time frames when you trade. A lot of traders have that methodology where they use multi-time frame analysis. That's pretty well known, industry standard. But very few strategies that I've seen in the market can actually analyze higher time frames and filter out trades based on the direction of the trends. So what we've done is we've taken several aspects of the CTT platform, like the Ocean, the Cobra, the price action, and we've built it into a suite where when you go into the strategy, you can select, hey, I want to trade a 30-minute chart, or I want to trade a 5-minute chart, or a tick chart. And what you can do is go into the strategy here, and here's the strategy I'm talking about, okay? And in the strategy itself, it has the ability to change multiple inputs, various parameters. There's a lot of options, but it's not so many options that you're just like, God, this is too overwhelming. I'm never going to figure this out. If you spend a couple weeks with each of one of these inputs over the next few weeks, if you were to get this platform, you will see just how quickly you'll pick it up. You'll know exactly which settings you want to change for the day. You'll know which settings you want to go in and maybe test or do a back test on, that kind of stuff. So here's the other time frame, and this is just a multiple time frame analysis. So here I have minutes, and here right now it's looking back to the 60-minute. So I'm on a 30-minute chart, so maybe 60 minutes not ideal. Maybe I want to look back on something a little bigger, right? Not quite a daily chart, but something more than a 60-minute chart. So we could do a 4-hour chart. So I put 240 minutes in there. I leave my Cobra settings the same, so it's basically going to be looking at a Cobra setting of 10 on a 4-hour chart without you having to open a 4-hour chart. That's the beauty of this. So it can just analyze the price data in the background without you having to worry about looking at your 4-hour chart, looking at a daily chart, changing your settings, messing with your charts. It's all automated, and that takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And then you can color code it. It'll show you, do you want to color the background up color when the higher time frame is moving up or moving in an uptrend? This will be light green. When the background is moving in a downtrend, it will be orange. Okay? You can change these colors to anything you want. It could be blue, yellow, pink, whatever. So, and then you can also say, do you want to use the Heikin-Ashi bars, which are these bars that you see here, to confirm a signal, or do you just want to use raw candles? And raw candles maybe will get you in a little sooner on a trade, as opposed to waiting for these bars to confirm. Then you can take a Cobra reverse. So if Cobra reverses on the chart, on the higher time frame chart, I believe, it will actually reverse your trade from a long to a short or a short to a long, depending on which way it was before. Okay? And then here's the settings, your Cobra sensitivity, your high and low threshold, and then you can set your Heikin-Ashi bars, which here we'll change that to 6. And that's about it. So those are some of the settings that you can look at on the higher time frame without even having to open another chart. So I'm going to go ahead and enable the strategy. And that's what it looks like. So right now it's a 30-minute, these are 30-minute candles, okay, with our Cobra. And the chart is analyzing, as we speak, the 4-hour chart, which currently is in a downtrend, okay? So can we confirm that and just make sure that that's what we're looking at? Well, let's take a look. So here's a 4-hour chart, and as we can see, it's pretty apparent that we are in a downtrend. So that's been factored into this strategy, and it is all oops, I'm sorry, I took the chart away from you guys. Apologize. So we can see that the 4 hours right here is in a downtrend, and that matches up with the background color here. So now you build your ATM, and you're going to say, well, now I'm going to trade off this 30-minute, and I'm going to decide how many lots I want to do. So let's say you're a 5-lot trader. So you can go in here and you put 5 lots, and you want to set your custom parameters for your strategy. You have a stop loss of 30 ticks or 30 pips on your trade total. So you can have multiple targets as well. So I'm going to set a stop loss for 30. These numbers have to be the same. And then your profit targets might differ. So on the first part of your trade, you say, maybe I want to take 10 pips. But I want to keep part of my position on in case we get a huge run and I make, let's say 50 pips. Okay, so it would actually be 40. So that would give you a total of 50 pips on the trade on your next position, on the second part of your position. So now you have to decide, well, how do you want to divvy up the trade? So maybe you want to take 3 lots off at those 10 pips, and just you want to leave 1 or 2 on just in case the market really takes off for you in one direction or another. Oops. So I'm going to set my quantities. Okay, guys, so now what we've done is we've built a custom ATM strategy, and that is one of the great features of NinjaTrader. It is one of the best trading platforms out there, I have to say. It gives you a lot of ability to customize different features and options. So I'm going to name this one Alpha Test ATM. Okay, so this is my Alpha Test ATM right here. What it's going to do is when this trade, if this takes a short trade, if Cobra turns short on the 30-minute, it will confirm and take a trade short. It will then close out the first 3 lots of the trade at plus 10 pips, it will automatically put a stop loss on my trade. Let's say we happen to get in right here at 34. It would automatically put an order to get out of this trade 30 pips away, okay? So just keep that in mind. So it's at 32.33, so at 32.63, there would be an order right here to buy to cover. Basically, it would be a buy stop order, and that would close out your trade. And then down here, it's going to put an automatic order down here to sell or to buy to cover 10 pips away. So at 22 would be your first target. And then your next target would be 40 pips away. So that would be down here, okay? So that's how it works. And it will automatically do all this. You can set up to 3 targets if you're trading larger size. You know, those of you that are trading maybe 10 lots, you can do, you know, 4, 3, and 3 on this third. But for the sake of this explanation, I'm just using 2 targets. I gave it a name. It will always appear now in this menu, and you just select it. Every time you load up your strategy in your dome, you're going to select it, and that's it. And what you want to do is link, probably safer if you link your dome to your chart using the same color, okay? That way you guys can keep track of, make sure this is the same information as this. And then over here what would need to happen is the strategy, you would have to give it a name also so that it knows how to communicate with that ATM. And here we can see the name that we have is strategy ATM, which is not the same as this. So we need to change that to alpha test ATM. Okay, and notice that I typed it exactly the same with spaces and everything, all capital letters. That's important when you're doing that. Oh, we have a question here. It's in a downtrend because the background is orange, right? Correct. Sorry, you probably asked that earlier, but yes, if the background is orange, then that indicates that the background or the trend in the higher time frame was moving lower. Okay, so anyways, here's the ATM, alpha test ATM. I have that set, and here you can go in through all these different inputs like your daily target. So if you don't want the strategy to be disabled at all, like if for some reason it hits your first profit target on the first trade, it would turn it off after $500 is hit equity. So if you don't want it to turn off, you would just increase this value, you know, maybe 2,000, maybe 5,000, you know, whatever is whatever your goals are for the day. It's all going to depend on the size you're doing. So $2,000 isn't a lot if you're trading 10 lots, and that can come very quickly. So you have to adjust this accordingly based on the size of the account you're trading. If you're trading a smaller account, you're probably only going to be trading either mini lots or half a lot or something like that. So 2,000 is probably pretty safe. If you put a $2,000 daily target, you're most likely not going to hit that in general. And then your stop loss, again, you'd have to set that based on your risk. Are you risking 5% of your account, 10% of your account on every 3% on every trade? It depends on your risk parameters. So here you would change that value. Right now it's set to $500, which for a small account is probably reasonable. If you're going to be trading a much larger account, you could probably increase that to $3,500 a day before the strategy turns itself off. So these are fully customizable to protect your account. And here you can also tell it if you hit your targets on the ATMs, these 15 and 40 pip targets, it will disable the strategy after these targets are hit. Okay. Then you can set your entry order types from limit. Right now it's set to market, a market order. Or you can change it. Down here you see entry order type 1 equals market, 2 equals limit. So if I change that to 2, it would now only take, when it fires a signal that's confirmed, it will put a limit order on your dome. So the downside to the limit order is, the upside is you get your price, right? You know exactly where you want to get in. It's very defined. But the downside is you may not get filled on your order. So it may skip a trade, and you may have to manually enter that trade later if you don't get in right off the bat. Market order, you're guaranteed to get filled, but you may get slippage. So you have to factor that into your total. Then these are other settings for the order inputs, which you'll learn if you get the platform. Not much to go into right there. And then the bar types, this is a higher time frame that we were talking about earlier. And we already went over all these settings here. Your avoid zones is something I mentioned yesterday. You can set what times you want the strategy to avoid taking any trades. It's from 4 p.m. right now. These are set from 4 p.m. It's military time, so 4 p.m. based on the time on your clock. So if you're in East Coast, your time zone is going to be a little different. But on the West Coast right now, it's 10 p.m., 10:20. So right now this is set to turn off trading from 4 p.m., 4:14 p.m. Pacific to 1800 hours. Okay, so basically we only shut it off for 2 hours, just for the example today. Okay, so at 6 p.m. it will turn back on basically, and it will start taking signals again at 6 p.m. Now for this currency, you probably don't want to trade at 6 p.m. So I would probably realistically for the euro, you'd probably want to set to around 10 or 11, right? So I'd say 2300, and you enter that 6 digits at 2300 hours. And that's it. And then you would change this one too. This allows you to enter 2 different avoid zones when there's overlap in your time, in the 24-hour clock. Sometimes you want to start trading at 1 a.m. or something, so you can come in here and specifically turn this back on like right after midnight, and then turn it off like at 1 if you want to start trading at 1:30 in the morning. Okay. So in this case, we just have it turning on the same day, so we don't need to worry about changing these. These are all going to be the same. And your account will show up here. When you add your live account to your platform, to your NinjaTrader platform, your live account, you'll have a SIM account, and you'll also have a live account. And you can you'll click this arrow, and all the accounts that you have in here will show up. You can select your live account to turn on, make sure the trades are being executed on your live fully funded account, and then you'll enable the strategy right here. And when you turn it on, you'll see your chart always changes. It shows you here the avoid zones, shows you the high and low indicator, shows you that the strategy is running right here. It's entering trades right now with the market orders. If I change that to limit orders, it would say entering trades with limit. So it's pretty self-explanatory. We've built in all these features to simplify the workload for you guys. The idea is that it allows you to trade more markets now, and you can trade. You can just if you don't have a large account, you can still trade multiple markets. You can just trade smaller size, and that way you can be diversified. When you'll see some pairs really start moving and other ones don't move as much, you'll be trading different, several different pairs, and you'll be able to take advantage of the ones that do move and know that you're in the game. And this alpha will take you into all of them. You can have 10 of however many monitors you have or however much memory your computer has. You can run pretty much unlimited number of charts of instances of alpha. So that's the nice thing. And it also, the biggest thing I think is, which we talked about yesterday, and Vladimir was talking to you guys about yesterday, was the emotions, the emotional side of trading. When Cobra reverses on you and does this kind of thing where it goes short, or excuse me, it's going short, and then all of a sudden you get a long, and then you get another short, and you might get taken out of this trade going long thinking, oh gosh, now it's going to go lower, and sure enough it breaks higher. So these kind of things can be very psychologically traumatizing to traders because they start second-guessing themselves and they start second-guessing the indicators, and alpha just doesn't care. It will just keep taking the signals, and as long as you follow your stop, follow your risk management and your profits, your profit targets and everything, in the long run you'll be fine, because the signals occasionally will get this kind of whipsaw, but it's nothing compared to the moves that you get when the market is trending. Just this one move, if you're taking every single trade, this one move will make up for however many, 3, 4, 5 different whipsaw signals that you get here, depending on your stop parameters. So you just have to be smart about that, and the system will take care of itself and take care of managing those entries. Also keep in mind that you're setting your time zone, so you're not going to be trading when there's no movement in the market. You're going to be trading when there's a lot of movement. So you're going to avoid these kinds of areas that are a lot of chop and whipsaw, and then you get back in when the market starts moving. So you can set those parameters up yourself. You can also set the high and low thresholds. Let me check real quick on the questions here. How do we set high and low and other indicators? Are they predetermined? So there are some settings here. Let me show you guys on strategy. So right now what I would do is we have the high and low up. So you're going to go back here. You're going to look at your high and low. You're going to say where where are these moves really beginning? At what level is the high and low when these moves start occurring? So the easiest way to do that just takes a few seconds. You go back, you can go back to, a day or two. You just want to see how the market's moved. And you can say, okay, back here, the high and low was pretty high. It was at 0.863. And you move forward through your chart. You look at some other trend moves that it did catch. We know that with the FOMC and all the news that's been coming out, the markets have been a little crazy. So we have to kind of go back and readjust some of the settings. So for example, this setting, the high and low was 0.566, and this next bar was 0.8. So we know that anywhere above 0.5 is going to be probably a reasonable move. We had some moves here, 0.48, so we could say 0.6. So you go into your strategy, and you just select your strategy, you disable it, and you go right here and you change your high and low threshold to 0.6. Okay? And then your Cobra settings are 10. Those, if that answers your question as far as the Cobra settings, those are all in here. Your higher time frame setting, 10. Your current chart would be 10. Your high and low threshold is 0.6. We just changed that. Your Heikin-Ashi bars, you don't have to use Heikin-Ashi bars, but so if you don't want to use them at all, you just disable it right here and you apply. And then this value won't matter anymore, this 6, because we turned it off. So we're just going to be using raw candles with the strategy. And it works fine with that with raw candles. It may get you in a little sooner, a little earlier, because the Heikin-Ashi bars take longer to confirm because it's smoothing that price data out. There's more choppy candles, but some people say I just want to get in right when it happens. So that you have that option to turn off the Heikin-Ashi. You'll have to do some back testing on your own and using market replay to find out which settings work better. Every market's going to be a little different. On the Euro USD, the Heikin-Ashi might work better because the Euro USD tends to trend well. But on a market like the Euro Yen or the USD Yen that can be very choppy lately, maybe the raw candles will work better because the price moves are happening so quickly. And by the time the Heikin-Ashi bars calculate and smooth the price data over the previous bars, the move has already occurred. So that's going to be up to you guys. That's going to be part of your homework when you're running this. This isn't a push a button, walk away, go to sleep. You definitely do have to put some time and energy into using this, but it will reward you. If you're persistent and you put the time into it. So you have all these options, and you can set. Let me see what else. You can have audio alerts set. You can turn that on, so it'll actually send you an audible signal. If you have your speakers on and you say you're going to have dinner, and then a signal fires, you'll hear it. And you can put whatever customized sound you like. Right now we have some default sounds, but you can put any customizable sound that's a WAV file in there, so you can customize that as well. I know a friend of mine, he has Family Guy sound effects for all his trade alerts. And so he just puts a bunch of different sound effects in there, and it's pretty hilarious. So let's see here. Time avoid zones we already went over, and that pretty much covers that. So that's how the high and low set. I hope that answers your question. Do you guys have any more questions at all on this? I know I kind of went through it faster today because it was a little easier, but there was a lot of new faces, so we wanted to kind of introduce you again for those of you that missed out yesterday. Turn this on. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to turn it over to, if there's no other questions, I'm going to turn it over to Vladimir. And give me just a minute if you guys can be patient, and we'll be with you in a moment. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Vladimir. Paul did a great job explaining alpha. Actually, I was in a trade because it was just the beginning of the hour. That's typically when when alpha takes trades for us. I had it programmed on a different platform for to take trades. So basically, that's basically alpha in a nutshell. What we try to do, we try to take trades at the beginning of the hour. That's it. We don't. I don't like to trade after like maybe let's see, for example, I'm in a USD yen. I don't like to wait 2 3 hours and I'm second guessing if this one is gonna go or not. Give me 1 second. Let's see. USD. Exactly. The USDN. I'm looking for the USDN actually. There you go. So like for example, this particular one right here, this is where is the hour chart? Let me put up the hour chart for you guys so you can see. This is the daily. Here's the 60 minutes. It just turned long. We just took this trade going long, but I was using a different platform because I'm testing it. I'm testing alpha on a different platform to show you guys really quickly because a lot of people always ask. And I mean, I've had this for a very long time, which is TradeStation, but I usually don't use it. But tonight I'm just using it because a lot of people are asking, for example, just to show you. This is TradeStation. The hour just changed going long. Right here's the arrow. Alpha took the trade, and at present up 18, but we were up more than that. It's just pushing forward, but there is a lot of stuff that I'm testing to see if this can work correctly with Alpha on our TradeStation. So what it is that we have a lot going on. Alpha works great. It's going to be a great tool if you guys trade every single day. You just want to start right here at the beginning of the hour. Once it starts, you see that Alpha will be able to see, hey, the threshold has been set. There is enough power. There is enough. For example, like right now, a lot of people are buying. They'll be able to take the trade for you without even thinking. And the next thing you'll be looking at will be the let me see the Euro USD. Once everything turns, we'll be in 4 trades at the same time, and that's what we're trying to get to, winning our trades. We don't want to keep wasting time and just at the end of the day, nothing happens. So it's about 10:30 right now because I said that I was going to keep this for about 30 minutes. And I think we pretty much, we've covered just about everything we want to cover tonight. We're going to have more webinars on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. If you guys have any questions, just let us know. All right? Thank you.